Welcome back. Welcome back to What's the Juice at the Juicy Tea. I hope you are well and rested, and so are your families. Okay, let's get ready to tap in. All right. I call upon the divine light to surround me. I invite my guides, ancestors, and protectors to stand with me. No harm, no deception, no lower energy may enter this space. Only what serves truth, healing, and the highest good is welcome here. And so it is. Ashe. All right, y'all, let's get ready to tap into the energies that are floating around. Okay. All right. Hopefully you're well and you're rested, and so are your families. Thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscribes. And let's tap in. What is it that the divine needs and wants you to know on What's the Juice? So there's some nurturing energy here. Okay. I feel like this is representing a seed that was planted and now this tree is growing. This could be your energy. Okay. You planted seeds and now you are starting to reap the growth of these seeds. Okay. And then we have someone is in a crisis because they're overthinking here. Okay. I feel like this could be the opposition. All right. That's what they will be referred to as opposition. The opposition is in a crisis. Okay. And they're overthinking. Okay. Or they could be in some sort of overthinking that is causing a crisis for them. This is giving me the combination of really both. Okay. And we're going to get more information on that. All right. So let's see. Because it feels to me like, you've been a nurturing energy pretty much your entire existence. Okay. And for those that would definitely speak to your character. Okay. I feel that, a lot of people, because we have all been taught so wrong, right? We've been taught that spirituality is actually bad, okay? Everybody was leaning towards denomination and in several different types of denomination. You've got Christians, you've got Catholic, you've got Jehovah's Witness, you got Buddhism, you got blah, 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 everything, right? But no one really was raised in spirituality, at least not where I'm from. Now, in other parts of the country, okay, and other countries, spirituality is very known about and sought, okay? Excuse me, y'all. I gotta dust my table off. Okay, so with this energy, okay, I feel like you have planted a seed in your lineage, in your roots, okay? And it's a nurturing seed, all right? But somebody could be overthinking this, okay? And because they're overthinking, it could be causing them a crisis. It could be causing them a crisis because you awakened, all right? That's what it's all about. You awakening is causing someone a crisis. They're overthinking the situation. All right. A lot of energies right now, ooh, I just heard that. Okay, I heard that. Okay, a lot of energies are running to God, right? But is it the true God? Is it the most high God? Is it the divine creator of all living things? God. They may be realizing that they gambled something, and this could be causing them to hit rock bottom. Your awakening was a gamble. Okay. Somebody could have been trying to block this. Somebody could have been trying to block you from tapping into your spiritual gifts. Okay. This crisis is causing them to hit rock bottom. Okay. You awakening to your spiritual gifts was some good news. Okay. For you, especially whoever's resonating with this message. Okay. It was good news for you to nurture your gifts. All right. It was good news for you to tap into the energies that were surrounding you. Because I feel like had you not tapped into what was going on when it came to spiritual warfare, because once again, like I'll tell you, a lot of people, we were raised, oh my God, that's witchcraft, blah, 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 and I feel like that was just the way for the enemy to keep you sleeping on all of their manipulation, their lies, their deceit, their trickery. Okay. But many of you are already knowing. You're an already knowing energy. It was like something within you. You knew that things just weren't right. You just didn't fit in. You just weren't, it wasn't adding up. This is what I'm picking up on. It just wasn't adding up. You're like, well, damn, why am I like this and everybody else like that? That was the energy. Tell me more, Spirit. Aha! Spirit said, and that's the truth. I'm just telling you, that's the truth. You know what I mean? If you were always feeling, and the constant confirmations on that, honk, honk, honk. Thank you for the confirmation, whoever is out there honking. Okay, that was the energy. Okay, you never fit into these energies that kept this gamble of a game going. Okay, these energies were hell bent on keeping you blind and naive to the things that they do. All right, but you knew deep down inside you never fit in. You knew this because you would see how other people would do things and you preferred not to do it that way. Matter of fact, there was divine intervention at a very young age for many of you. Many of you knew you couldn't get away with doing certain things. I'll give you a prime example. Okay, the first time I called myself trying to steal something. Okay, and then it wasn't even like, and I'm not gonna lie, I did. I tried to steal something when I was 12 years old. Okay, I used to have a fetish when it came to bottles. Okay, perfume bottles especially. Pretty perfume bottles just was like, oh my God, I gotta have it, right? I went into I went into a Walgreens, okay, in my state that I lived in. And when I walked into this Walgreens, right, there was this. Like it looked like an angel bottle, and it had all these like really pretty metallic colors, like this heart here. Okay, like real metallic, like these colors on the bottle. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta have it. I put the bottle in my purse, didn't try to bury it, just threw it in at the top. It was sitting on top of all kind of stuff. When I went to walk out the door, the thing started saying, shoplifter, shoplifter, I like to die. Okay. I was with a group of friends. I was driving my grandma's 1979 Buick Regal. Yeah. My grandmother came up there and I was so embarrassed. But with that being the case, that is the divine stepping in, letting you know you can't steal shit. Some of y'all, the first time you tried to steal something, you were immediately caught. That is Spirit's divine intervention, letting you know you're not like the rest. Some people, they are just like kleptos. They could just do it all day long. That one time taught me I could not steal. Okay. Also, you are not someone that could just outright lie. You're not a liar. Okay. For whoever this message is resonating with, you are not a liar. So therefore, the first time you tried to tell a lie, it stood out like a sore thumb. I'll never forget. My grandmother told me, she was like, Treva, don't lie. Just don't even try it. She was like, because you can't even lie straight. Like, there are people that will look at you dead in your face and in your eyes and lie to you. I couldn't even lie straight. Okay. So this is how you know, all right, that you have always been set apart from the rest. Okay. You have people that have lied. They have cheated their way through life. That is a part of their DNA. Okay. It's just their makeup. Okay. It's part of their makeup. All right. You are not of this earth. You are a galactic being. You are someone who is held very high in the spiritual realm because you rather do things the right way than to do it the wrong way. This is how you know you don't fit in. Message. Okay. Tell me more, Spirit. I can't make it up. This is why you're happy. Okay. This is why you sleep good at night. Okay. And this also makes your spiritual team happy. Your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual guides are happy. I don't care how bad it is. Okay. And this is another thing that people don't understand about you. No matter how bad it is, you are compelled to tell the truth. You are compelled to tell the truth because it is almost like it's embedded. It's innate. It is within you. Okay. I had somebody tell me one time, you're not wired like that. You're not wired like us. You're not wired. And I'm not going to lie. At that time, I was just working. I didn't care. I wasn't really tripping on what they were talking about. I just figured, here we go with somebody else saying something else. Right. But now that I have stepped into my higher self, my higher consciousness, I understand exactly what they were saying. When you are of a higher energy source. Okay. You vibe high. There's certain things that don't sit well with you. Okay. You'll lose sleep over it. I ain't lying. You will stop eating over it. You know what I'm saying, family? Only take what resonates. But when you know that you cannot maneuver and do things like everybody else, and if you do, it will eat you up until you damn near have to tell on yourself. That is the energy. Okay. So that's why you didn't really fit in. That's why these people are really in a crisis. They're overthinking, and their overthinking has them in a crisis because you have awakened to the games they were playing. And that was a huge gamble. Okay. That was a huge gamble. A lot of people are hitting rock bottom, and they also are experiencing anger management issues here. Okay. Because they're starting to see who they really are. They're starting to see that you pissed them off. Your truths piss people off. I just can't, it is what it is. Okay? Take it how it resonates. And then look, and then they're mad because however you're delivering your truths, they're like, that's a fucking hobby. Quick disclosure, I do come in hot and sometimes not. That means I do cuss and curse. Hopefully you can vibe like that, okay? But yes, you know that you are pissing people off. You being in your higher self is pissing people off, and however you're delivering it, they're looking at that like, that's not work, that's a hobby. No, it's not a hobby. You're a messenger. Message. Okay? And that's what's really pissing people off. You've always been someone who was extremely intuitive anyway. Okay, for whoever this message is resonating with, you've always been someone that was intuitive. You've always listened to spirit. Now, I'm not going to say always. Okay, let me take that back. That's a conjunction. I'm not going to say always, but the majority of the time you listen. Okay, you listen to the Most High God, the universe, and what the universe and the Most High God has to say. Okay, are you human? But damn sure you are. Yes, you are. You are human first, okay? So, have you ever fallen short? But of course you have. Have you repented? Oh, yes, you did. And I don't mean you went to church and you sat with the preacher. Okay, some of you have. No pun intended. Hey, but I feel like when you're that connected to source, you just go straight to God. Okay, and I know a lot of people feel, oh, you cannot go to God without going through Jesus. Well, once you enter and understand that Jesus and all of us are one, Jesus is your brother. That's God's son. You're God's daughter. You're God's son. Jesus is your brother. Okay? All right? Message. Let's continue. Tell me more, Spirit. So you got people that are upset. I can't make it up. That you are healing energy. You're a healer. You've got people upset that you're a healer. Okay? This is the energy. You are a healer of the masses. You bring things out the way that it should be brought out. And you bring it out through truth and clarity and authenticity. Something about you it's not like you want to hurt people's feelings, but you definitely want to keep things on the up and up and straightforward. And that word transparent is used so freely. Oh my goodness. As soon as someone tells me, I want to be transparent with you, I already know the scratch. That's like a whole record. You know? That's like the whole record, right? Because you're like, as soon as you said you want to be transparent with me, you want to be transparent with me, that let me know you can't be transparent with me. Transparency doesn't have to come with you telling me and starting out, I want to be transparent with you, or I'm gonna be transparent with you. You're just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna know it type energy. Okay. There's something here to be celebrated at the bottom of the deck when it comes to your healing energy. Okay. Wait, let me see. Did you see that? Yes. Celebration. Okay. There's something to be celebrated here when it comes to your energy. I feel like your energy is a very healing energy. I feel like people that come into contact with you, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, okay, they do acknowledge that there are truths. Every time I look over here, look, there are truths that you have spoken and you have uncovered. Look at this here, look at this here, look at this here. I love this dude. His face. Because you see, that's how you be eating, looking at somebody, right? There are truths, okay? There are truths, and then there are partial truths here. So we have only sharing parts of the truth that benefits oneself, okay? That's what a lot of people do. Okay. Whereas you just stand on truth, period. Okay. You just standing on truth that uncovered truth. Okay. It uncovered evidence that will change your view on things and others' view on things. That is what has taken place. That's why people are pissed, because they're like, ugh, they could be having this hero syndrome. Okay. This is where the energy of bridging the differences come in at. Okay. Crucial. Okay. Crucial and cultural differences bring both challenges and growth. Okay. I heard that, spirit. Okay. So with that being the case, that's what it's all about. You're bringing out crucial differences when it comes to the cultures, and there's so many cultures, their beliefs, okay, their belief systems, the way they were raised, okay, the way they were, brought up to believe this was this and this is that. But then when you look at history, okay, no offense intended, no pun coming. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm channeling here. When you look at history, the religious culture did a very hostile takeover. And this started back in time before we were even around, okay? Viking days and all that kind of energy, okay? It was a very hostile takeover. It was like, you're either going to be a join us in Christianity, or you burned at the stake like a witch, right? Right, okay? I feel like when many awakened to whom they were, no matter their nationality, their gender, or anything. This brought in unexpected blessings, because most of the times, anything you do, you're not expecting it to just, provide you with blessings right away. Everything comes with hard work, dedication, discipline. You know what I'm saying? Cutting people off, being by yourself a lot of the time. Okay. But you're never alone. You always have your spirit team, your ancestors, angels, your spiritual team, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guide, the Most High, the universe. Okay. You're never alone. But then there are some times when those times get lonely. But whatever it was, you being a healer, you are being celebrated. And this brought in and is going to keep bringing in unexpected blessings. That is another thing that irks these energies. Okay. Because they're like, how in the hell? That's the look. How in the hell is a hobby paying them? Okay, that's what they're saying. It's a hobby. It's not a hobby. You're a messenger. You're a messenger. You give messages pertaining on what's going on in the world. We're all connected. It could be happening overseas. It could be happening in your country you're currently in. But no matter the case, you're a messenger. I heard that. ET phone home. I come in peace type energy. Okay. You phone home, you call the Most High. Hey, I need your help right now. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? You're not somebody that just runs all the time. You're not somebody that just sits up there and only calls on the Most High God, the divine creator of all living things, when you need something. You know, you're not trying to keep up no fake appearances. You've never been that kind of an energy. You know, you've always been a very humble energy. Okay. You've always gone to the Most High God in humility. And you didn't ask for anything outrageous. You weren't asking for Bentleys and and that's why they keep watching you. Okay. You never asked the Most High God for Bentleys or, a whole bunch of riches and stuff like that, right? You don't ask for tangible goods, right? You don't ask for material gains. You just ask the Most High God to assist you in taking care of yourself and or your family. Okay. If you have family that you take care of, you're not somebody that's out there trying to push no extra stuff. You know You know what I mean? You're not out there trying to, I want this, you're like, I just ask that you assist me in taking care of myself. And if you have family, like I said, or friends or loved ones, let's just sum it up like that. You've asked the divine to help you in those matters as well. Okay. But this is funny. Keeping up appearances, okay? Keeping up appearances and acting like everything's okay. You've never been that energy. When the shit hits the fan, okay, when the shit hits the fan, it hits the fan, okay. You ain't up here trying to play like everything is okay. You're not somebody that is not emotionally intelligent. You don't mind saying shit. The shit ain't right. Okay, something ain't right. It's not. It's off. And then that is your truth. That's where you stand. People keep tabs on that. They're looking at it like this. I cannot believe this. Someone is keeping a close eye on your actions because they're like, wow, this person is still trying to run from us. But let me tell you, I just today in the bathroom, I stay channeling in the bathroom. I don't know what it is about the bathroom, okay? But I get a lot of messages when I'm in the bathroom. Look, this is the message. I'll be damned. Listen, this morning I channeled something, right? I saw a couple. And I keep seeing them over and over and over. Now, I'm going to tell you about this couple. This couple looked like identical twins, but they were a masculine and feminine energy. And I said to myself, damn, either they're soulmates or they're brother and sister. Something about that, okay? I don't know if this path, okay, or this journey that we are on is trying to connect you to your soulmate through other people. Because I saw a couple and I was like, damn, they look like twins. They got to either be brother and sister or they are soulmates, all right? So the path ahead in this relationship is uncertain yet hopeful, okay? And this is the secret. Wow, spirit. And this is the secret, okay? People could be trying to guard secrets or be asked to keep one. Wow. Okay, okay, okay. So maybe, and I don't know, and only take it how it resonates, maybe a lot of these people that are following you have something to do with your life path or have something to do with your spiritual journey. Huh. Interesting. Maybe they're wondering if you know. I heard something about time travel just now. Maybe they're wondering if you know that you have been reincarnated. They're wondering if you know you've been reincarnated. Really? Damn. Okay. Look at the bottom of the deck. Authentic self. Look, somebody is wondering if you know you've been reincarnated. And this reincarnation is you being stepping into your authentic self, showing true self courageously. This is what they're overthinking. This is what is causing them a crisis. Is you stepping into your authentic self. Mmm. Mmm. Wow. That's the bottom of the deck. That is the breaking news. Wow, a surprising revelation will shift your perspective. Holy crap, these people are wondering if you know that you're reincarnated. Well, I'll be damned. All right. So, yes, that is the message. Okay, that is the energy. Okay. That is the message and that is the energy. So let's get ready to close this reading out. Okay. And we're going to do openings and closings very specifically, okay? And there's a reason for that. So, closing out the reading, I release the weight of deception and betrayal. I stand rooted in my truth. I call back my power, my light, my peace. I am whole. I am becoming. And so it is. All right, y'all. So hopefully the message resonated. And until next time, you know what I love to say. Ashe.